Peace and blessings, family. Welcome to Smoke and Mirrors live. And here we are, and sort of on time for whatever time is worth. Anyway, it's 4:20. The name is it's right in the name. Let's do it. Oh dear God, that went really wrong. Oh man, my apologies. That went really very wrong. The stem got loose and the bolt stayed tight. That is the wrong combination. Anyway, welcome to Smoke and Mirrors. This is 20 minutes their round of comedy, culture, and bullshit. I try to offer as much of those things as I can in the time that we're here together, and hope that you're here for the same. Have a warm bevy. I hope you do too. Oh, remember that the purpose of that is to clear any possible mucus getting stuck in the throat to address anything situated with the Rona. It's a myth and it doesn't help, and it's my placebo and it makes me feel better. So I hope you're doing the same. I do have a warm bevy. My bevy of choice is coffee because I am an addict. So listen, I need to, I guess, make a public apology to begin. I said a thing on social media that seems to have upset quite a lot of people. And I say things. I make my little jokey jokes. I'm not here to try and hurt anybody. A friend of mine, a very good friend of mine, James Rodden, on Facebook there was making his own little jokey joke to piss off white Gen Xers, and said that there were a couple of musical groups that he didn't like. I barely recognized the names, but I knew what he was getting at. They were supposed to be popular. They were very popular, and they meant a lot to a lot of people. Okay, listen. Listen to me, honey. I know I got a little. Okay, so I'm not here to kill anybody's Buddha. I'm not here to poop in your punch. I'm not trying to fuck up and yuck anybody's yum. You should like what you like. I like what I like. I am a child of the '90s, of the music, of the hip hop. I was in college during that time. Okay, no. Listen, you listen. I heard the first the bad one, the bad Fugees record. I listened to it. I defended it. Okay, I was there. I was there. I'm just saying that. Okay, before I say anything else, I'm just saying that. Here's what it was. A couple of things. Wu-Tang Clan and Mary J. Blige are perfectly serviceable artists. They get the job done. Here's what it is for me. And I'm not criticizing either one of them for these things. It's great. Okay? I had groups that I liked that would try to kind of like bully you into liking their music. I really did. No, I did. Okay? I like a little mash out posse in my life. I need a little mash out posse in my life. I do. Method Man is a hell of an actor, but one of the best MCs in the history of the game, by far. I did not need RZA beats, and 1 out of 15 rappers does not a good group make. Eek! Don't come for me. Mary J. Blige, listen, honey. People relate. That's so good. That's so good. He's a good MC, I said. Did I say he's a good actor? Meth is a good MC, the best MC in the game. He's a great actor. Mary J. Blige is also a very good actor. She was in some sci-fi movie that I just saw. It was great. It was like a whole. It was a series, and she was great in it, and I loved it. And I am here for a singer who is coming with a little bit of a funny pitch and coming from the heart, and I mean that. I will fight somebody over a certain number of Lauryn Hill songs. I will. I will. We were deprived in the 90s. Okay, we were deprived in the 90s of Whitney was not available. She was having issues, and Sade only releases so many records at a time. So do you know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying don't like it. Like it, love it, love it, love it. You should love it. Okay? All I'm saying is that it didn't hit me in my heart. It didn't hit me in my feels. That's all. That's all. They're all going to be at the reunion tour together, and I'm going with you, Beaches. So let's not, don't come for me. Don't cancel me. Don't come for me, please. Don't come for me. Don't cancel me. Don't cancel me. Actually, do you know what? Dave Chappelle got canceled, and then he got 2 Netflix specials for $1 bajillion. So please cancel away. And yes, honey, I do see you all talking about Macy Gray and Child. She's awful. Listen. I love me some Macy Gray. I love me some Macy Gray. She's awful. Listen, here's the thing. Last night, I keep doing this, and I'm not trying to get my LL Cool J on. I want you to know that, okay? What's happening is that last night I sneezed so hard that I felt my lip split in 4 different places. And then also, too, the one in the middle is still healing. And so if I'm doing that, I apologize. And I hate it mostly because I am craving a fried chicken sandwich. I want one so bad. With like slaw and hot sauce and jalapeno in the slaw and all the shit. And I don't want to, though, pay $50 for a chicken sandwich. And so what I did is I bought all the ingredients to make my own, right? I got the dope fried chicken recipe going. And so, but I can't find chicken because there is a chicken deficit and a meat deficit, as you may have noticed, in the country. And there is a meat deficit in the country because, like every other essential worker and like everyone else, the workers at the meat places are in fact having the COVIDs, and so they're not chopping up the meats. But then I might be rescued because the president said that he is enacting the Defense Production Act, but only for the meat plants. Interestingly, though, also is that Purdue is one of his main investors. Purdue the chicken man, Purdue is one of his main investors. Now listen. Purdue works with other people in the meat industry. So it is interesting that these huge lobbyists and huge funders of Trump, investors, as I've been saying, are somehow finding their business is the one that needs to be open when we needed PPE, masks, personal protective equipment for our frontline workers, the real ones, saving the people as best they can. It's harder if you're an asshole out there protesting against science, and it is beginning to have an impact there as well. So please keep your grampy home. unless you're tired of Grampy, and then let him go ahead and protest too. But listen, here's meat from a neighbor. Yes, here's the thing, that the reopening of America that's happening, right? This would have been a few years ago a thing that would have been led by the CDC. This is the Center for Disease Control, yes, and the Center for Disease Control would, if it were, let's pretend we had, I don't know, a president, would the Center for Disease Control would send out a scientist, like say Fauci, and Fauci would then every day come out and say words about science to us, about the smart ways to do it. And in fact, what's interesting is that the CDC has, if I may say, a 17-page document that is dedicated to how to reopen the United States in a safe and appropriate way. Now, this 17-page document came with very, very, very clear instructions, including hand washing stations and appropriate measures to make sure you can take care of the sick as well as the healthy. They also had suggested that there be barriers, right? Sneeze guards for restaurant workers in any restaurant that you would go to, so that there's no interaction, that the buzzers that we had gotten so used to let you know that your table is ready, because it was too much trouble to come outside and say so. They're saying, you know what? Fuck that. Let's use an app. Let's use an app. And then we won't get mouth spray on people, and they don't have to all touch the same thing on their way to dinner, and then they can just use their phone, which is already disgusting, with their own gross fingers, right? And very specific measures. This is the same CDC that came out when, do you remember when lettuce was making everyone sick for a minute, right? Okay, so this is what was happening. They sent investigators from the CDC to go look at the lettuce, and when they went to go look at the lettuce and find out why it was making people sick, and they were able to locate it based on the shipping to which Wendy's it had gone to, so they were able to figure out approximately which farm by doing tracing, this other thing that the current administration doesn't want to do. And so what they did is they traced it back through Chipotle and through Wendy's, and they got to a particular farm where what they had discovered is that not only were there too many cattle, and was the runoff of the manures getting into the water, and so that water was seeping into the ground, and then that was what was feeding the cattle, and so there was this gross cycle happening. Also, they were irrigating the water from this runoff to then water the lettuce that was being sold to fast food. What was happening is they were irrigating and spraying shit water on the lettuce that we were then putting in our burritos and our Okay, so the CDC were the ones who then found that out and then went there and put up the signs that said shit like, hey, fuck you, move the goddamn cows away from the water. Do that first. Second, you can't spray poop water on the food the people are going to eat. You can't do it. It's not, in fact, we're going to fine you for it, motherfuckers. And so change it and fix it. And then they did. Right? Because the CDC was real scary when they had a Justice Department and a president. They were like, yeah, I like non-poisonous food. And so they had regulation and they had powers and they had teeth. And now all of that we're learning is kind of at the mercy of the president, because I don't know if you've noticed, but when he's opening his gaping cephaletic mouth hole every day to say words at us, They are dripping all over us and not giving science, or are they based in any? Because what has happened is the people who have taken his advice and taken the quadrexychloroquine. I did that because I can't remember the name. Hydroxychloroquine. I think that's it. Or and not only called 911 to ask if it's appropriate to inject any sort of cleansers, but some folk did, and in both cases died. This is murder, right? What is happening though is this wild mismanagement is leading to outcomes that, as we already know, are having a higher death count in black and brown communities, but it's a high death count for everybody. It's way too high. It was 71,000 last time I checked this morning. It's more now. And so the CDC would be the ones to go, the same CDC, the same ones who should be out there saying to us, hey, this is what we'll do, and this is how we'll open the restaurants, and this is how we'll open the schools, and this is how we'll protect the children, and this is how we'll protect the sick, and this is how we'll protect the elderly, and this is how we'll protect the disabled and the temporarily abled, and this is how we'll protect you. And this is the only way that we can do it. That same CDC is been castrated. There's a representative standing on the stage who is not Fauci, who says nothing, who we've not heard from this entire time at all. And these are the same people who would need to go to the chicken factory, where the chicken factory workers and the other meat plant workers, who now have been told that by government regulation and by the use of the Defense Production Act, have to go to work now, whether or not they are sick, and they are. And so, boop, doop, doop, boop. I can't have chicken right now because I have a cut in my lip, that I don't want to get any COVIDs in. So no chicken sandwich for old Los. So sorry. I said comedy. That's not. Okay. I got it. Listen. I figured when I was getting bummed out by that, though, that what I would do is that I would blow off a little steam. And I don't know who of you would know this or why you would know it, and you shouldn't, because if you do, you're a creep. But I am an avid runner. Have been for over a decade, and I love it. I live for it. I've been doing it in this shitty weather. I've been wearing a mask because I got to cover my face, right? Because I'm also a good citizen. I don't want to be spitting and spewing all over the people. You don't want my sputum on you. So I might have the secret COVID. There's secret COVID, and I don't want to give you secret COVID. I just assume I'm a zombie. It doesn't protect me from much, but it protects you from me. So that's the deal. Again, as we're doing prophylactic community building now, that is prophylactic running, right? I'm keeping the things from the people, and I'm happy to do it. And I was going to go for a run, and then I realized it may be dangerous to do because I am black, as you may or may not know. We are only now finding out Ahmaud Arbery's name, who was a black runner of some 25 years who was running in his own neighborhood and was hunted down by two white men. I don't know, Dennis and Matthew, I guess. I don't know. Fuck them and fuck their names. I don't care. The problem is this, though, that they were not arrested in spite of having not only called 911 themselves, they filmed the incident in which they hunted this young man down and killed him. Now, two things. One, white people keep whiting. This is not a new story. I will run. Fuck y'all. Okay? Fuck your granddaddy. Two, here's the other part of it. The system is not broken. It is doing exactly what it was designed to do. And that is why these two men have not been arrested to date. That is what the problem is. And so this Friday, myself and other runners and walkers will be very safe in social distancing, and we'll be dedicating a couple of miles to his memory. You know, it matters. The other thing is this. Whites and other people, do me a favor. Don't share the video. What are you doing? It doesn't help. This is not helping anything. This is not helping anybody. And it's turned into porn for racists. That's all that's happening. There are old rednecks fapping off to these videos, and nobody is being helped. And so please fucking stop sharing the videos, okay? We can do better than that. They're taking their mayonnaise and their canola oil and smearing it all over themselves and watching these videos. I can still see Sandra being dragged out of her car. I can still hear what it sounds like to hear a child screaming for his mother as he's being hunted down by a monster in his own neighborhood for shopping for Skittles. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't need another example of what a lynched body looks like. We've been seeing this since elementary school. This is simply an act of some gross absolution that white people are looking for, absolution looking for, to say that they are not the racist by sharing this to their so-called racist friends, who I promise you are enjoying it far too much. Stop. What you could do is trauma porn indeed, thank you. What you could do is to instead go to Color of Change. I am going to go ahead and leave in the comments at the end. I can't do it on the screen. I'm not quite that sophisticated right now, but in the comments at the end, I'm going to leave their www. If one of you is willing to do it right now, then that'll take care of it. There is a link to a petition, and the petition is to get rid of George Barnhill and get rid of Jackie Johnson in North Carolina, who are the prosecutors and the folks who should have been taking care of this from the very beginning. And they are not, because we are not forgotten by the system. History is not forgotten. History is buried. And they're trying to bury us again, and you can do something about it now. And I hope you will. I hope you will. I signed the petition. It doesn't take but a second. And then they ask you to share it on your own Facebook page. You could do that. And then you get to virtue signal and or piss off all of your white friends. And maybe both, which again, win-win. So do it. Do it. Do it. Don't do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. And then as soon as you're done, do one more thing. Go and fill out the fucking census if you haven't done it already. I heard from one of you motherfuckers, that you actually did it. Are you kidding me? As long as I've been doing this, do you remember when it was vertical and it was all fucked up and it was on a telephone and you were looking at my kitchen and all this bullshit? Seriously, go fill out the fucking census. It takes less than 5 minutes. It is important. We must be counted. We must be counted. There is still time. Fill out your fucking census. Do you know what they've done? They've put us in a position because Trump, listen, think about this. Ruth Bader Ginsburg was in the hospital again. Now, I just want to say this last thing very quickly. She was in the hospital again. She's voting now by telephone from the hospital bed and listening to arguments, okay, about very important shit. Okay, I don't know if you remember what it was like watching Kavanaugh get goddamn inducted, but this was Mr. I like beer, the one who was boofing and doing all of the things and swearing to God that did not mean chugging beer with your butthole, which it does. Anyway, Justice Ruth is the only thing standing between us and complete apocalypse. You need to understand that if this motherfucker gets a second term, he is going to be able to insert not one, not two, but 3 more Supreme Court judges. If you've been paying any fucking attention, that is a lifetime goddamn appointment. This motherfucker could put in 3 more Supreme Court justices if he is elected one more goddamn time or inserted by the fucking Electoral College, whoever the fuck. We have to come out in numbers. And what that means is that we all have to vote for a gross rapist. We don't have to like it. We don't have to feel good about it. We can all take a shower and cry and drink wine and write sad poems about what we've done after we have done it. But we have to. Ruth is trying not to die. Trying not to die so that this motherfucker doesn't get a second one. She'll die. 3, because 2 will leave. Prepare yourself. Okay? Buckle the fuck up. I don't want to either. I really don't want to. But we have to. And we have to do what we have to do. Also, please don't make a black woman vice president because she will catch shit and possibly the bullet from these insane white motherfuckers. Fuck that shit. White lady, have at it. Good luck. Listen. Oh, Jesus Christ. This has been a blast. I'm supposed to tell you things now. Yeah. If this has been worth a shit, and it's not, okay, I promise you, it is not. But if this has been worth a shit to you, and you enjoy it at all, please share. You know, you can put it on your page. You may have issues doing that. You may be embarrassed to do that. I suggested as much last time I said this, and somebody wrote on the thing, yes, I am. I can't. I am white. Here's what I would say to you, honey, come out. Come out. If you're an anti-racist, now is the time, especially you. It is your job to share it. For the rest of us, if you like it, if it's worth a shit, give it a share. Give it a share. I won't be mad. I won't be mad. I won't be mad at all. I will always share. I will never bogart. I know that Zuckerberg is trying to charge everybody for this experience. I am not. And I never, ever, ever will. Okay? I will say this as well, though. If you feel like you want to put 5 on it, you can. I'm not going to get mad at you. These are the places you can do it. I do know that not everybody is temporarily visually abled. As you can clearly see, I am not myself. So I will say out loud that if you'd like to leave 5 on it, you can do such a thing. You can do that at my Cash App. That is $ CK Wyndham, $CK Wyndham. That's my at the Cash App thing. At the Venmo, oops, backwards. At the Venmo right over here, it's Venmo at Carlos Wyndham, Carlos hyphen Wyndham, Carlos hyphen Wyndham. If I'm doing it auditorially, it doesn't make any sense if I don't do it right. I apologize. I'll get better at that. So if you want to leave 5 on it, you can. Again, you should not. You should don't. I would don't. I would be embarrassed to tell my friends I liked this, but not very, because I made this cool sign for you so you know where you are and what you're doing. I even let some of you know what was going to happen and when it was going to happen. I'm going to try and set that timer. If you like this and you're on Facebook watching it now live, guess what? You could see it on YouTube. It's going to be there. And if you really want to piss off your fucking uncle in the Midwest, send it to him. Send it to him in an email. That's how he'd look at it anyway. He's not going to look here. Maybe he'll look here, but you don't want him blasting you all over your Facebook. Send him to YouTube. Let him blast me. That's fun. That's fun. Sometimes I like to read the comments from the haters. That's a good time. We could do that. We could do that. There's ways to do it. So, this is Smoke and Beers. 20 minutes of comedy, culture, and bullshit. Thank you for spending a little bit of time. As I said, there's not a lot of cultural production going on in the world right now. But eating chicken is my culture. And so this was about that too. Listen, I appreciate you spending some time. Thank you for building community and virtual community with me and together through these prophylactic means. There may come a day in the not too distant future where Zuckerberg has me muted and or censored again. Should that happen, you will still be able to find me over on the YouTubes, where I will then go live because we can't stop this movement. Okay? Love you, children. Be safe. Take care of each other. And please wash your filthy fucking hands. Okay. All right. Take care. Bye.